Royals baseball from the south side of Chicago, and tonight the Royals begin a 3-game series with the White Sox, a team they beat 14 times in 2016. Hi everyone, welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. It is premature, Hud, to call Jason Vargas the Royals ace, but we can certainly call him the stopper.
That's right. He stopped 2 3-game losing streaks. Now Ned's asking him to stop 4. He's the guy to do it, that's for sure. Now all he needs is a little bit of offensive support. He can do it. Check out that ERA. Minuscule. 12 straight starts. He's been unbelievable. 14.2 innings of scoreless ball. That's exactly what they need. He's a doctor, and he carves the dish. His scalpel has been so sharp. He's hitting everything but the middle of the plate, and that's the idea of pitching. Oh, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to watch it.
And we hope tonight the offense will get going in Chicago, but the Royals will be facing a team that has the 3rd best ERA in the American League. Is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Kansas City Royals. Salvador Perez is back in the lineup tonight after missing the last 2 games of the Texas series, and he has good numbers in his career against White Sox starter Miguel Gonzalez. Jason Vargas on the mound tonight as the Royals are back in the Central Division. Their next 13 games against teams in the Central, 7 of the next 10 against the White Sox. Good job on cool night, 60 degrees. It should be in the mid to low 50s before this game is over tonight. And the Royals getting ready to play their first 3 games with the Chicago White Sox. He puts us in the driver's seat. And the Royals were 14-5 against Chicago last year. The 2 teams played 6 series. The Royals won all 6. If you go back to 2015, the Royals have actually won 7 straight series with the White Sox. They did not lose back-to-back games at all last year against Chicago, and by going 14-5 last year, the Royals have now won 6 consecutive season series with the Sox.
I like the new name, Guaranteed to Rake Field. How about that?
Well, let's hope that's what happens tonight. Whit Merrifield will lead off again. The Royals scored just 5 runs in that 4-game series at Texas. They've scored just 12 runs in their last 8 games. Salvador Perez returned to the lineup. He missed the last 2 games in Texas with a stiff neck. And Jorge Bonifacio will slide down to the number 9 spot tonight. Facing right-hander Miguel Gonzalez, and he is a strike thrower. He has walked 7 in 19 innings this year. That's high for him, but remarkably, last year, Miguel Gonzalez pitched over 20 innings against the Royals last year and did not walk 1 hitter.
Well, that's good for our offense, at least what we've been swinging at. A lot of bad pitches that are out of the zone that are hard to hit, we've been hacking at. So maybe this is the right remedy, Miguel Gonzalez, to cure our hitting woes. And let's hope so. Now, he was really good in his last start against the Yankees. Matter of fact, he had 8 first pitch outs against the Yankees. So that's what he wants. He wants to pitch to contact. Well, we need to put him in play and find some holes. The defense, White Sox are 0 defensive runs saved in 17th this year in 2017. Garcia and Wright, Lurie Garcia and Miguel Cabrera in the outfielders, pretty much the same infield. Frazier's over there at 3rd. Now they got a little issue already here.
So the Royals officially lead the major leagues in umpire issues before the first pitch, and they are on pace to set a major league record. So, third base umpire Mike Everett on the right. He's the crew chief, and home plate umpire Bill Welke chatting with Rick Renteria, the White Sox manager, before we get started.
Doesn't look like an equipment malfunction.
Toyota League leaders and the Chicago White Sox with a 3.09 ERA that leads the major leagues. A team that struggled on the mound last year, especially out of the bullpen. And Chicago, like the Royals recently, they've had problems scoring runs, but they are just one game under 500 because of their pitching.
Okay, now Mike Everett went over to the crew chief, went over to put the headsets on. So they're talking. They're having a replay before the first pitch.
Right.
Interesting. This is where the field mic is going to come in handy here. You watch. They're going to like it in the All-Star game this year. Fans are going to like it. The umpire's going to grab the mic and they're going to talk about, you know, what the call is out there. And then next season, this is what they'll do. And instead of us all being in suspense right now about what's going on.
I remember something like this happening at Kauffman Stadium last year, and I think what we found out was that the replay system was not working. Okay. Or maybe one side's replay system was not working. And so with that being such an important part of today's game, you really can't start unless both the Royals and the White Sox have a fully functioning replay system and the umpires have a fully functioning line of communication with the umpires in New York. So that could be what it is. Can't think of what else.
Right, so
they'd be on the headsets with New York before the first pitch.
We're up here speculating, and maybe next time they'll have a field mic and tell us.
Ned Yost, as you'd imagine, is either knows exactly what's going on or he's curious as to what's going on. So Bill Welke will go over and talk to him about it. As far as we know, though, Bill Welke has his shin guards on.
That's right.
That was a problem the other night in Texas. Home plate umpire went to home plate getting ready for the first pitch of the game, and Alex Gordon, it is tradition for the first hitter of the game to acknowledge the home plate umpire by tapping him on the shins with his bat. And Gary Cederstrom said, "Ow, that hurts. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have my shin guards on." And had to go and get fully equipped.
Oh,
and that caused that delay.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, uncle.
So here we go. Whit Merrifield leads off for a second consecutive game. He is very comfortable hitting in this spot, mostly because he is not afraid to do what he did right there, take a strike. He swings at the second pitch and hits it foul back in the crowd.
Miguel Gonzalez is not overpowering. He's good hitting speed, like 88 to 92 maybe, but his average fastball is about 90. And a weight on him.
Back to Gonzalez on one hop and one down.
Fastball, slider, curve, split finger change combination. He's going to use them all, but mainly fastball, slider. Finesse type pitcher, good tempo, ground ball specialist. He would throw a cutter in on lefties. It's something that he's been working on in the spring and new.
Moustakas is jammed on the first pitch, easy for Frazier. By the way, we just did find out that indeed was the issue. The replay system was down in either one or both of the clubhouses, so they had to get that cleared up with New York, and that was the cause for the 4-minute delay.
You were on it.
There have been times where there have been delays before the game because a bullpen phone isn't working.
Yeah.
Now Lorenzo Cain, fresh legs tonight after getting yesterday off in Texas. And he loves to hit against the Chicago White Sox. Lorenzo has 9 home runs and 43 RBIs against the White Sox. That's the most for him against any opponent.
He's 3 for 9 with a homer off Gonzalez.
That is a 6-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Miguel Gonzalez. Now Jason Vargas to the mound with his 0.44 ERA. Chicago's had some difficulty scoring runs in the first 3 weeks. A lot of low batting average, although just 2 days ago, the White Sox had 6 players in their lineup with batting averages under 200. And now they only have 2. And they've got their hands full tonight. Jason Vargas 3-0 in his 3 starts with 23 strikeouts and 20 2/3 innings.
Yep. Dr. Vargas, if he's on his game at all, he'll give them a handful. And these 2 teams aren't the only teams struggling offensively, believe me. A lot of teams are this early in April. Anyway, they know he's going to be on the corners.
Past Moustakas. And Tim Anderson, who's off to a slow start and got his first multi-hit game of the season yesterday, is 1 for 1 tonight.
Ford around the horn defense for Kansas City. Threw out 3 of 5 White Sox last season, but nobody went on him hardly. Now we'll see what Anderson does. He's a speed guy. He's got 1 bag already this year.
Strike 2. Tyler Saladino, the Royal Killer. 213 so far this year, but 386 against the Royals last year and 338 in his career.
Hey, you notice anything about his mustache?
Is it
it's handlebar
long enough now for him to...
I was on him before batting practice today. I said, man, come on, you gotta curl that stuff up. Get the wax out and handlebar it, and he did. I love him. That fires me up.
Well, if he goes 4 for 4 tonight,
No, he's going to swing and miss.
He goes 4 for 4 tonight and is asked after the game why he did so well, hitting just .213, and he says, well, the Royals television announcer said I needed to look like the cowboy, the traveling cowboy, and it really helped me see the ball tonight.
Yeah, you know, and our Royals fan loaned him the wax.
0-2 against Saladino. By the way, we just found out that the replay systems are still down. So at the moment, and that could change, but at the moment they have made some special rules to accommodate for that. And Saladino's down on 3 straight pitches with the new mustache. 1 down. So what the umpires were doing, they were going over and talking to New York and then trying to figure out what to do so that we're not just sitting around and waiting for the replay systems to come up. And we found out that the challenge system will remain the same. Each team gets 1 challenge, but if a team is incorrect with their challenge, that they can request a crew chief review before the 8th inning. So if this was the regular rules, you use your challenge and you lose it, you can't ask for a crew chief review until the 8th inning or later. But now, if the team loses its challenge before the 8th inning and the replay system is still down, they can request a crew chief review before the 8th.
Parky,
1-1 on Melky Cabrera.
Parky'd like to keep the ball down here. He has induced 5 ground ball double plays in 3 starts this year. So it's the changeup to right-handed bats that usually does the trick. You get him to pull it and hit it on the ground.
Now, after all that explaining, we have been told that the replay system is working fine on both sides.
Good job, bro. How'd you wrong? Appreciate it.
2-1 on Melky Cabrera. Into right field, Bonifacio is there. 2 down in the first.
Jason Vargas, fastball, changeup, curveball, and he'll use them all, and mainly the fastball changeup combination. Changeup's been very effective. He puts it exactly where he wants it. So far this year, he has been really good. He's able to change speeds. He's able to scalpel the corners, staying out of the middle of the plate. He likes the breaking ball to the back leg of the right-handed batter. That and the change-ups on the outer half of the plate. It's fun to watch him when he's going, when he's on his game. I like his humility. First 3 starts, 20 innings pitched, only giving up 1 run. That's a great start, but he goes, it's too early to get excited.
There's the changeup, 1-1.
Humble veteran.
So you don't get too excited early on, and if you're Jose Abreu, you're not too concerned early on, batting at just .203.
There is no concern. Now, when you're not winning games, there's a concern to that.
Now fastball by him, 1-2.
But in a sense, the White Sox aren't supposed to win. The Royals are.
Line to right field. One hop to Bonifacio on a 1-2 pitch. Anderson stops at second.
High fastball now. Vargas, he's been up in the zone a little bit so far this tonight's game. I don't know if that's by design or what. But talking with their assistant hitting coach, Greg Sparks, around the batting cage, he said that for some reason they haven't been able to square up good fastballs, but they're hitting off-speed pitches. So hard to figure.
Todd Frazier, another White Sox hitter, struggling to begin the season. He has 1 RBI, batting 108.
But you know, as good as his command is, Vargas, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not pitching up there on purpose. It's first inning. I don't know if his command's off or if he's just trying to pitch up there. He's been missing upstairs.
Again, 2-1. White Sox are hitting just 183 with runners in scoring position. They snapped a 3-game losing streak against the Indians yesterday, and in the previous 2 games they were shut out. Line to deep left, and Alex makes a running, leaping play to save at least 1 run.
Oh, and Frazier's going, you got to be kidding me. Breaking ball up, he barreled it. I thought that was trouble. Alex, no problem. That's a routine play for him. Beauty.
As Eric Hosmer will lead off against Miguel Gonzalez. Our Kubota Power stats. Eric Hosmer drove in 23 last year against the White Sox. That's the second most by a Royal against any opponent in any season. George Brett in the World Series championship year drove in 29 runs against the Rangers. We'll see if there's some carryover from yesterday as Hosmer picked up his first multi-hit game of the season. Hosmer, Perez, and Gordon coming up.
When Haas is going good, they play him straight up. But he's been showing that they're going to pull him, so they're kind of keeping him in this trap. And the outfielders, they're also playing that way.
Yeah, you don't typically leave left center field wide open like that against Hosmer.
No. So Dale has him doing exactly what Haas is doing now. Before, he would be flailing and bailing at that in the last couple of weeks. He's eyeballing. He's waiting for his pitch. Dale told me before the game today, we've had success being a contact hitting team, obviously. We've gone to where a lot of teams have never gone. But it's not working now. So we're going to have to be selective and look for our pitch. That's the bottom line. We can't keep giving in and win games and waste this great starting pitching when we're swinging at balls that are not strikes right now. So good job, Haas, working himself a good 3-1 count. Gonzalez doesn't walk many. Maybe he gets a cookie here. Bam. Darn it.
Not quite. You can tell by the sound.
Right idea, though. That's a good AB. He spit on those borderline pitches there. That was nice.
Summer vacation is right around the corner, and why don't you schedule yours and join the Royals in places like Chicago, Boston, LA, San Francisco. Royals Destinations provides fans with the ultimate game day experience with tickets alongside fellow Royals fans, VIP ballpark access, a meet and greet reception with a current player, and you also have optional hotel accommodations. A lot of fans in the last 3 years take advantage of those Royals destination packages and making their presence felt on the road.
Great cities we're going to this year, especially on the west, out west.
Salvi not able to extend his arm, so a good location for Gonzalez. Garcia makes a play in center field, 2 down. Miguel Gonzalez was picked up off of waivers last year by the White Sox. He was released in spring training by the Orioles and was a mainstay in the White Sox rotation last year. He missed a little bit of time in August with a right groin injury. Alex aggressive on the first pitch and fouls it back. Alex was just 1 for 15 in the Texas series. Another high target from the catcher Soto. And fouled away, 0-2.
I noticed both pitchers are working up in the zone tonight. Now, you don't see that during the summer here because this is a bandbox. A couple of those fly balls that were hit might have been close to being homers. Now the ball carries here. But it's not quite there yet, and we're seeing both of these pitchers challenging hitters above the strike zone up.
Late movement. Soto thought it was a strike. He was holding it out there for home plate umpire Bill Welke to get a long look.
That's a typical two-seam fastball there. But if he's like Royals starter Ian Kennedy, it's a four-seamer, I'd be surprised. Ian's four-seamer does that. That's a good try to go to left field there. Look at Soto.
Yeah, low target.
Drop it right there. Nope, he missed. And then you see Soto how he throws the ball back. He does that because he has had an injured knee, and it's easier for him to lean down and throw it back to the pitcher than to stand up and throw it every time. See that cushion he's got on the back of his right knee.
Ooh. Late movement again, but Bill Welke says it's inside, 3-2.
That's
and it was.
That is. Welke, they got a little flinch out of him, though. I think Welke, he flinched, but no.
Fouls it away, still 3-2.
Okay, I like the battle. I like this now. Alex is just waiting for his pitch, but in the meantime, he didn't want to get called out looking, so he's just hacking and trying to get a piece of it.
Ouch. That got Soto. Soto just came off of the disabled list. He'd been out with a sore right elbow. Gonna try and come back inside on Alex. That was out over the plate. Still 3-2.
Go ahead, Alex. Stay up there all night until you beat him here. Way to battle. This is an excellent first at bat of the night. Tenth pitch coming. Change up.
Another foul ball.
Like it.
He only threw 6 pitches total, Gonzalez did, to Merrifield, Moustakas, and Kane in the first inning. And Hud told you about his start against the Yankees on Tuesday. 8 1/3 innings, and a lot of that had to do with 8 one-pitch outs.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's exactly what a pitcher wants to do. What a plate appearance. He won it. I like it. The guys are looking good so far.
First man on for the Royals, and that brings Alcides Escobar to the plate.
Okay, let's check it out here. Now he's trying to work him up in the zone. He wants a little fly ball. Look at all those pitches. Way to go, Alex. Man, now he's got a great idea on Miguel Gonzalez and what he's trying to feature. So when he goes into his next at-bat, he's ready. Now, Hop, that's so much better than swinging at the first pitch and grounding out. So you learn so much more. Good job.
Esky just 1 for 14 in Texas. Chased a fastball up at 91.
And that's where he wants to pitch Esky, because you know he until you show a pitcher you can hit that ball to the ballpark, they're going to keep throwing you right there. Their advanced scout, the White Sox, they were in Texas.
Center field, easy play for Garcia. And that'll do it. Avisail Garcia, Matt Davidson, Giovanni Soto coming up for the White Sox. career start tonight. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. He leads the major leagues with that tiny ERA. And by pitching a scoreless first inning tonight, he's pitched 15 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings, holding the Giants scoreless in 7 of those on Wednesday.
Todd Frazier almost took him deep though in that little breaking ball. He left that over the plate. Alex made an excellent running catch right in front of their bullpen.
0-1 on a trimmed down Avisail Garcia. I was listening to Jason Benetti, White Sox television voice, with Joel and Monty during the pregame show. It's hard to believe he is still just 25 years old. That's how young he was when he came up first with the Tigers. And maybe make or break is a little strong, but at some point he's going to have the kind of season that the Tigers first and now the White Sox expected him to have, and he's off to a good start.
He is, and it's good to see. And hard work pays off.
Perfect timing. Jorge Bonifacio makes a play in right field, and that's the subject of a report from Joe Goldberg.
Well, I'll tell you a little more about perfect timing. First off, his parents were both watching, and so he heard from his mom, Antonia, after the game from Miami. His father, Jose, he was told, had tears streaming down his face as he was watching in Dominican as Jorge had his first big league hit yesterday. And then there's the timing for brother Emilio, who was a utility man with the Braves. He wasn't playing yesterday. I had the chance to talk to Emilio by phone this afternoon, and he said that he was starting to warm up in case he needed to go into the game. They were in Philadelphia, the Braves. And so in the 4th inning, he went up the tunnel to the gym at Citizens Bank Park to start to warm up. And he looked and he saw that his brother was in the on-deck circle and thought, I probably need to watch this. He looks up and sees his brother hit his first big league home run and said he was absolutely going crazy with the trainer up there. Unbelievable timing for him. And one other cool note to the story that Emilio told me, guys, was that when Jorge was called up the other day, from the bus that day that he was called up, Emilio got a congratulatory FaceTime call from Eric Hosmer, who said, Emilio, you took care of me. Now I'm taking care of your brother.
All right, get there, Jorge. Into the seats, Matt Davidson, who is off to a roaring start for the White Sox. He goes to the opposite field to give Chicago a 1-0 lead.
Salvi wanted the ball up, and there it is. He left it down. He didn't get it up where he wanted to, and Vargas knew it. Good compact swing by Matt Davidson.
That is the first home run allowed by Vargas this year in 22 innings. Giovanni Soto takes a changeup for a strike. So Vargas loses a consecutive scoreless inning string of 15 2/3. Just shy of his career high of 17 in a row. That was the 4th home run and the 11th RBI for Davidson. 1-2 on Soto. Cutting inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Moustakas on 2 hops and 2 down.
Routine plays, you know, they look routine to a big leaguer, but look, if you want to know the fundamentals, this is how you do it. Okay, hitter, 2-hopper. Moose comes and gets it. You want to come. Now watch him tap his glove. See, he taps his glove so he can get his feet in line to go to first base. That's very important. You young fielders out there, tap the glove for timing, for your feet. And they call that a crow hop, really, but it's more of a shuffle. again, fundamentally sound.
2 ground ball outs after the home run. Matt Davidson gives the White Sox a 1-0 lead. Don't forget, parents, sign up your kids for an opportunity of a lifetime, being part of running a Major League Baseball game by entering our Kids Run the Show contest presented by Wonder Bread and Price Chopper. It's coming up on July 2nd, but the deadline to enter is May 3rd. And your child could have the chance to spend the afternoon assisting with select game day positions such as junior team photographer, K-Crew member, TV broadcaster, grounds crew, and more. Royals.com/kidsruntheshow.
That's a great report that Joel gave about Bonifacio. I like it. And it got cut off with the Davidson homer.
Well, it was nice for Eric Hosmer to tell Emilio Bonifacio that he would take care of his younger brother, but the truth is Eric Hosmer takes care of all the young guys.
Believe it.
And as we said last year and during the offseason, it has a lot to do with the Royals having quite a few young players the past few years coming up and contributing right away. And they feel like they're part of the team. There isn't the old caste system, if you will, back when you played, where a rookie comes up and is scared to say anything, or you know, just you want to be seen and not be heard. Sometimes you don't even want to be seen.
Yeah, it's a lot different now.
High fastball strikes out Moss, and that's number 1 for Gonzalez. And now Bonifacio batting 9th. Yesterday batting 3rd, and here's the home run Joel was talking about.
Darvish tried a little breaking ball on him, and man, he made him pay. That was beautiful. I mean, it went way back in there too. Good homer. I guess scraping the back of the wall or one that hits 450, it's all the same, but it sure was pretty. And that's a mistake. That's what you want to do to an off-speed pitch that just floats up there.
Fouled away, 0-1. Spinner out in front of the plate. And as bat came apart. Soto throws him out, 2 down. Now Whit Merrifield coming up for the second time. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is back with better picture quality than ever before, allowing you to watch every out-of-market game live at home, in the office, or on the go. Blackout restrictions do apply. MLB.TV. To third, off of Frazier's leg, and Whit will be at first base with 2 down. It is an error on Frazier.
Yep, not surprised. He'll tell you he could have gloved that, but instead he kicked it. I mean, just totally misjudged it. It was a long hop.
Second base runner for the Royals. Gordon walked with 2 outs in the second. Now Mike Moustakas, he swung at the first pitch from Gonzalez that he saw in the first inning and popped out to third.
Moose told me a couple of games ago in Texas that he likes it when they play him to pull like this. He says, you know what? I love it now when they do. They used to, when I was younger, I used to go, wow, man, they played with my mind because he didn't quite have the left field stroke down like he does now. Let's see if he utilizes it.
And I remember where we were. It was in Detroit to begin the season, and we had never seen a shift like that on Mike Moustakas, and he comes up for the first time on opening day against the Tigers, and Brad Ausmus had everyone swung over like this, and it was a shock to us, and you can only imagine what it was like for Moustakas. Going up there and thinking, okay, I'm going to look for a ball that I can hit hard to the right side, and all of a sudden that side is stacked with defenders. Changeup fades outside.
You know, this early in the season, he might try to take a shot over there. So far this year, he's been dominant in his pull side, and why not? He's recognizing some pitches, and he's got 6 homers.
Stayed inside. Gonzalez has tried to do that to the left-hand hitters tonight. He threw a few of those pitches to Alex Gordon, a fastball that starts inside, hoping the hitter gives up on it, and then getting the late break over the inside part of the plate. Now it looks like they're going to try for a fastball away. Out over the plate and fouled away.
And he had a swing for that side of the field there. Moose can go deep to the opposite field. We saw him in 15, first hit of the year, went in the K. Now that's a good swing right there, under control. Just missed it. Last year, Moose had 7 home runs in 104 at-bats before he got hurt. He got 6 home runs this year in 63 at-bats, so he's on a little better pace than he was even last season.
And he returns to the scene of the crime. What looked like a little harmless pop-up off the third. Moustakas going hard, Alex Gordon going hard. And we left Chicago thinking that Alex had the worst of it. Broke his wrist. And then from here to Minnesota, we found out a day later that Moustakas wrecked his knee and was done for the year.
I like it. Hope we can stay healthy this year.
Wow.
Yeah, impressive. And he's less at bats. 45 less at bats.
Witt runs, and it's lined to right field, sinking, and Garcia scored. Tried to trap it, and it's off his glove. Merrifield to the plate, and he beats a throw.
Attaway, Jershely. Good read out there, the third base box, coach's box. Plays behind Merrifield. He can't see it. He was relying on the eyes of Mike Jershely, and Jersh to the rescue. He saw what we saw up here. Garcia wasn't going to get it on contact. Had too much topspin. Nice effort, but you know, this early in the ball game, you want to sit back on that and just kind of, you know, catch the ball and keep him at first and second. Especially with 2 outs. So being over aggressive cost him a run there.
So the combination of an error and a misplay in right field, and the Royals have tied the game. And now Moustakas is in scoring position for Lorenzo Cain. Slider stayed inside.
Okay, Moose will take that double.
Lorenzo grounded out to short his first time.
You can read the spin on a baseball from out there if you're an outfielder, and you can tell on contact because it sinks quick when it has overspin on it. It'll sink fast, and you're instinctively taking that first step, coming after that ball, and then there's a one point where you go, I can't catch it. I'm gonna back off and catch it on the hop. And with 2 outs.
To center field, Garcia is there, and that'll do it. With 2 outs and nobody on, Merrifield reached on the air by Frazier. Moustakas gets him home. And we're tied at 1 to the bottom of the 3rd. Is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Ford, going further so you can. Tied at 1, top of the order for the White Sox. Tim Anderson. Fastball strike. Anderson single to left in the first inning. Jason Vargas can allow 2 runs or fewer tonight. He would establish a new Royals record. He is tied with Zach Greinke. They both have gone 12 consecutive starts. Greinke did it back in 09 when he won the Cy Young. And now Vargas has the streak currently 0-2 on Anderson.
This is an unusual game plan for Vargas. Normally a guy that does not throw that hard is not going to be challenging guys up in the strike zone like that, but that's obviously their game plan. Salvi's, he's got his target up, and that's their plan.
And that's the telltale sign that he's doing it on purpose. That he's not necessarily missing up.
Right.
He's getting a high target.
But the first inning, they don't let us in the meeting, so we don't know.
Stockish fell and throws high and back into the crowd.
Yeah, you'll see on contact. Watch Moose go down. He slips. Yeah, now he had time to regroup, but just not enough time. And he rushed the throw. He had a little bit more time than he thought he had, but Anderson's really quick. That threw him off. It's just his first error of the season.
Here's Tyler Saladino. Vargas struck him out on 3 straight pitches in the first inning. Strikeout would be nice here. Saladino typically handles the bat well, whether he is swinging or bunting.
Renteria is looking for him to get him over. He's looking for a pitch on the outer half so he can hit a ground ball to that right side with nobody out. Last year he wore the Royals out, hit .386.
Two balls and 1 strike. White Sox third baseman Todd Frazier just made an error in the top of the 3rd inning, leading to the Royals run. Now Anderson to 3rd. He is in there.
Second steal of the year. He got a great jump.
And that is risky with Salvador Perez behind the plate and with nobody out.
And against the lefty, you can get a little bigger lead over there. But you're not going to go into a situation like that unless you know 100% you can make it. And he's got excellent speed. And he beat it by plenty.
Infield in for the Royals. And now it's 3-2 on Saladino. So stealing 3rd with nobody out early in the game, and now infield in with nobody out early in the game. Changeup. Saladino's down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight.
That's a good start. Maybe Vargas can pick up Moose here. Good change. Had him way out front. I think Saladino is pressing. Hadn't gotten up to the start he's wanting.
Infield stays in for Melky Cabrera. Again, a high target, and Melky went after it. So he said the White Sox scouts were in Texas watching the Royals. Well, the Royals scouts were here in Chicago watching the White Sox, and the game plan is to pitch these guys up. Look, that's an even higher target, and he gets Melky to chase that one 0-2.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's all patterns in it, and they'll pitch you depending on what you're doing. If you're swinging at bad balls, they'll keep throwing them down there. Tell you down or up or wherever. Tell you discipline yourself to lay off it.
Not very deep. Anderson tags, and he holds. It was a short throw for Lorenzo Cain.
Very nice by Vargas.
So 2 down with a runner at 3rd. And it's time for our Sprint trivia question. Which pitcher holds the major league record for most consecutive starts allowing 2 runs or less. Okay, let's see. How many do we have to choose from? The hint is there is a Royals connection. Gaylord Perry. No. As in he once played for the Royals? Broken bat, and it's down. That's too bad. Vargas, he left the pitch up, but he avoided solid contact. Abreu's bat split down the middle, and the air turns into a run.
Yeah, almost got out of it. It's a little bit too much to the plate, a little up. And he's able to scratch it off the end of his bat. Now, it's a good thing that Moose didn't see that broken part of that bat coming. I'm glad it didn't hit him.
And now Frazier chased a pitch that was nowhere near the strike zone. Frazier probably thought he had hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. It is not a good night to hit, at least for here. It's cold, it's windy, the wind is blowing in. And Alex Gordon made a running, leaping play on the track to take a hit and RBIs away from Frazier. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Check it out, man. Alex on contact. Took a perfect route. Straight as a string, right to it. Good concentration. See how he saw the ball into his glove. Watched it the whole way.
2-1. That is being fooled by a changeup. That looks like the old Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah, and that's why they call certain changeups a Bugs Bunny changeup. It just floats in midair.
And you just wait and wait, and then with the follow through, just kind of corkscrew yourself right into the dirt.
Right.
3-2.
It's tough. John Tudor, Glavine, Jamie Moyer, they all had great changeups, all the lefties, because they face all right-handed hitters. You got to have a weapon for them. Beauty.
Vargas strikes out 2 in the inning. But the White Sox, after allowing an unearned run, now score an unearned run and regain the lead 2-1. Proud to team up with Girls on the Run in their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved as a volunteer or participant at the upcoming Girls on the Run 5K in your area. Visit foxsportsupports.com. Hosmer swings at the first pitch, a changeup, and he missed. He got himself into a hitter's count leading off the second inning and ended up flying out to right field. Outside with a breaking ball, 1-1. Royals have 1 run, 1 hit in the first 3 innings against Gonzalez. Right over the outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He is coming off a terrific start. Tuesday at the Yankees, he allowed 1 run in 8 1/3 innings. Grounded to shallow right field, and Saladino is there for the first out. He threw 88 pitches in 8 1/3 innings.
Yeah.
The Yankees had won 8 in a row, so he shut down a hot team. He opened with 4 perfect innings in that game.
Yeah, but when you get 8 first pitch outs, that's really going to help you move it along, and that's exactly what a pitcher wants. They want early contact. You know, you hear Danny Duffy talk about that a lot, and he got it.
Breaking ball for a strike. Salvi flied to center in the second inning. Oh, 2. Royals face Gonzalez 4 different times last year, and the Royals won all 4 of those games. Gonzalez took 2 of the losses. We were telling you in the first inning, he pitched 20 1/3 innings against the Royals last year, didn't walk anybody, and he was the only major league pitcher last year to start 4 or more times against one team and not walk a batter. And it's also the first time that's ever happened against the Royals in their history.
That's impressive. Oh, that's hard to do.
He's already walked one tonight. That was with 2 outs in the second inning. Look at the White Sox. They have a Hawaiian shirt day coming up on July 1st.
Hey,
Are we here for that?
I don't know. You might have to add one
Yeah,
to your
July 1st.
to your collection.
We will be in Minnesota.
It's hard to walk Salvi, though. You think he'll take a walk here? Nope. That was ball 4. Salvi's got a couple of walks.
There you go. Look at that hood.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'd wear it, but
No, I don't think you would.
it's an impressive promotion. And now Salvi's having a long at bat with Gonzalez. I mentioned the walk with 2 outs in the second inning. That was to Alex Gordon. That was an 11 pitch plate appearance.
Staying in on him.
And it was out over the plate. Still got it by him, and Gonzalez has 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, I think Salvi was looking for something else.
So here's Alex with 2 down after that 11 pitch walk in the second. Slider in for strike 1. changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Okay, let's take a look at that grip, see if he's splitting his fingers on it. Sure enough, there it is. That's a split finger changeup, and look at that. That downward action is a split finger action. That's exactly what he wants to do with it.
You don't hear this very often, but he is a crafty right-hander.
Right, and he got away with that.
He has allowed 1 unearned run in his first 4 innings with 3 strikeouts.
And his wife, Anna Karina, expecting their 2nd child. He did not know the sex of the baby. And then the opener here, April 4th, he looks up onto the Jumbotron and he sees a message from his young daughter, Annarella, who in Spanish said, "Surprise, Daddy, it's a boy." And that is how he found out, a message from his young daughter, and his wife there next to their daughter found out. Quick FaceTime home and back to action to play.
That's awesome.
A good way to do it.
That's wonderful. Oh, right in front of your teammates. How cool.
Was it Hunter Dozier this past off-season that they took a, what was it, a little wiffle ball, and they soft tossed it to Hunter, and he didn't know if it was filled up with blue powder or pink powder, and he hit it? Is that how they found out, Joel?
Yeah, and I think it was Christian Colon and his wife had done that with their 2nd child.
Okay.
Huh.
Creative ways to reveal the gender of the baby. Garcia flied out to right field, also leading off the 2nd inning. Two and 2 on Garcia, who lost about 20 pounds during the offseason, changing his diet.
He needed to do something. He looked a lot different when I saw him rounding the bases today in batting practice.
Strong throw by Moustakas, and Garcia, for a big guy, can run. 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. All right, I think I have it. Jason Vargas is trying to establish a new record for the Royals tonight with 13 consecutive starts, allowing 2 runs or less. What's the major league record? And the clue was there's a Royals connection. And the answer is Zach Greinke. Zach did that with the Dodgers 3 years ago. 21 starts. Oh, yep, 13 and 14 combined. 21 starts, and it ended against the Cincinnati Reds when he allowed 3 runs.
Wow.
Almost,
shame on him.
Almost
One
more start.
Well, it's still pretty early here in this one. Hope Vargas can hold him here.
Matt Davidson homer to the opposite field against Vargas in the 2nd inning. That was his 4th, and he's already driven in 11.
He just went with it too. Did he try to pull that? That's a beautiful swing to go opposite field.
Change up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the beauty. Great location down there. Davidson, he's shown some power. He had a couple of 20-plus home run seasons in the minors.
He made his big league debut last year, and in his first game he got a base hit. Got that out of the way, and then while he was running the bases in that same inning, he broke his foot and had to have surgery. That was down around the end of the bat, and easy for Alex. 2 down. The White Sox had 3 different players last year either injure themselves severely in their first game with the White Sox or before the game. They had a catcher, Kevin Smith, who was getting ready to make his big league debut. And
I heard that.
He was stretching before batting practice and tweaked his back. He was in the starting lineup and had to be scratched, and when he was healthy, he was sent back down to the minor leagues.
Yeah, I shouldn't laugh at that. That's not funny, but look, that's very unusual. That would happen to a guy, especially making his first start.
1-0 on Soto. And then they had an outfielder, Charlie Tilson, who had just been traded from the Cardinals, and in his big league debut was trying to run down a ball in right center field and tore his hamstring. I think you begin to realize it's not your year when those things begin to happen.
Yeah, that's tough. Buzzard luck.
Vargas continues to pitch the White Sox up tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Soto. He grounded out to Moustakas in the 2nd inning. Three and 2.
Soto's faced Vargas before. He's had some success.
Got him looking. That is Vargas' 4th strikeout and his first 1-2-3 inning.
There you go. Soto got to go.
Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Panera Bread, Panera caters for every group, every size, every meal. And by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Find a servicing Steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL. A bit of a chilly night in Chicago, but all things considered, the Royals have been pretty blessed with their April weather. Playing the first 3 games of the season outside in Minnesota. We had no problems there. Nice weather in Kansas City. 60 degrees. That first pitch tonight going to get down into the mid to low 50s. Lifted to center field, and Escobar flies out to Garcia for the second time tonight. And speaking of that nice weather at Kauffman Stadium, the Royals are back home for a long homestand beginning on Friday. And if you'd like to host your company, your family, maybe a sports team or another group out at the ballpark for a special occasion, single game suites and party areas are now available throughout the month of April and May. If you're interested, go to Royals.com. You can email group sales at Royals.com. Brandon Moss struck out on a high fastball in the 3rd inning. Tap foul, and it's 0-2. You ever watched a game from one of the dugout suites?
No. Have you?
No. I think that's a bucket list for me.
Okay.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Fizz is going to do some TV with me next homestand. Maybe you can go down and sit in the dugout.
I have to work.
Steve Stewart and Benny can handle it for an inning or 2. Go in there and take a chill pill, man. We want to know what it's like.
2 down in the 5th inning. I was not aware that you had that kind of authority to just
I don't
allow me to go down there and watch a couple of innings.
No. I have no pop.
I mean, can I just take the whole series off since?
No.
Okay.
No.
4 strikeouts for Gonzalez. Second time against Moss. And now Bonifacio hit a little spinner out in front of the plate in the 3rd inning and was thrown out by the catcher Soto. Center field, deep. And on the edge of the track, Garcia makes a play. And now Gonzalez has taken care of the last 7 Royals. Milwaukee. This is Eric Thames, and a name you should become familiar with. That is home run number 1 for him tonight. That is home run number 2, and he did it in the first 2 innings. And Milwaukee has a 10-4 lead over Cincinnati in the top of the 5th inning. He has 10 home runs already, Eric Thames. That is 3 more than any other major leaguer. And really a fascinating story. Player who got some big league time with the Mariners and the Blue Jays. Really didn't do anything special. And so he went to Korea, which is becoming a more competitive professional league, but I don't think it's on the same level as Japan yet. So you're going down a couple of levels when you're going to Korea. And in 3 years, he had 124 home runs, enough to impress the Brewers for them to give him a 3-year contract. And so you figure that's a wild card. I mean, is that going to translate back here? Well, so far it has.
Yeah, and one of the reasons is in those leagues they have finesse pitchers, guys that throw a lot of breaking balls. So that's legit. So now if he has the same experience that I had, I came back. The baseball in America looked like a beach ball. It was just big for some reason. And maybe seeing all that off-speed pitching, I know it helped me. And of course, I wasn't the power hitter that he is, but that's one of the reasons why.
Base hit the other way, and Leury Garcia is on to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. But you weren't a different player when you came back, though, were you?
I was a better hitter.
Here are the Major League Players of the Week. We're going to see Steven Souza Jr. on the next road trip when the Royals face the Rays. He had a good week, but Bryce Harper had an incredible week. 550, 10 runs scored. He had 7 extra base hits, and he drove in 7. And I'm guessing Eric Thames is working on National League Player of the Week for this week. So, but you were a better hitter, but were you a completely different player, like a transformed player?
I learned how to hit a breaking ball a little bit better, and I played under control, which was good for me. I was a little bit wild.
You?
Being a utility guy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I played once a week, twice a week. It's like letting a bird dog out to hunt, once a week. And, you got to let the bird dog circle the house 3 or 4 times before he can calm down.
Snap throw down to first, and Garcia's back. I mean, most of the time, a player who goes from the major leagues to Japan or Korea, they don't come back. I mean, that's just, you go there and you play a few more years, make a little bit of money, and you call it a career. Some guys like you have a chance to come back and play for a long time in the big leagues. How many years after you came back?
5 more years.
5 more years. Okay, that's very rare. There's a base hit to left field for Anderson. So he is on for the 3rd time. But Eric Thames is on the shortest of lists to come back and be a transformed player. Cecil Fielder was like that. I remember Cecil played for the Royals and he played for the Blue Jays. He went to Japan.
Played for the Hanshin Tigers.
And came back here and was hitting 50 home runs a year at a time when, you hit 30 or maybe 40 home runs, and that was a huge season. So, yeah, that's a tiny list of guys who go to Japan or in this case Korea, to jumpstart their career and have success in the major leagues.
I don't think it's ever happened for a hitter. So I'm happy for him. Now Vargas got to get some work done here now. Saladino's up again, expect him to bunt. Move him over.
Last time he was up, the White Sox had a runner at second base and nobody out. And in the middle of his at-bat, Tim Anderson stole third, and Vargas still struck him out.
Okay, now Haas was crashing. He was coming in. And Moose was staying home at third base. Eske's going to second. Merrifield goes over to first. You got to know what's going on, and the plays come from the dugout. They come from the manager. That's given to Salvi. Salvi tells the players what plays on. Wheel play is Escobar goes in, Moose comes here.
That's a strike, 2-1.
Saladino's looking down. The third base coach, Nick Capra.
Backing out of play, 2-2. And that was a fastball up. So there was good location on a bunt attempt, putting it in a spot that made it very difficult for Saladino to bunt it.
That was a good spot, and that's what he's going to stay with here. Now, even though it's 2 strikes, he probably won't be bunting for sure. Maybe Vargy throws him a changeup.
Trying to bunt, and he got it down, and he got the job done. So the sacrifice gets Garcia to third and Anderson to second.
Okay, you did the right thing. Now, you can bunt a guy that doesn't throw as hard like Vargy a little bit easier than you can a hard thrower. So he was confident that he could get the ball down, and he did. And that shows the manager a lot right there. So Ned's bringing the infielders in. 1 out. See if Vargy can help himself out here.
He almost got out of a runner at third and nobody out in the third inning. He struck out Saladino, and then he got Melky to fly out to shallow center. And then Abreu got him home. So he needs another big out for Melky here with men in scoring position. And it's a base hit into center field. Garcia scores. Anderson scores. The White Sox take a 4-1 lead, and that puts an end to Vargas's streak of starts allowing 2 runs or fewer. It ends at 12.
It's a changeup out there and way off the plate, and it looked to me like Cabrera was looking for that pitch because he just put an easy swing, and the hitter can see the infield in. And when you see that, all you got to do is just lay it out there in the middle somewhere. So that's a good piece of hitting.
Dave Island goes out to have a quick chat with Vargas. White Sox have 4 runs on 7 hits. Abreu takes a strike. He drove in the White Sox second run in the third inning. So this is the most runs that Vargas has allowed. It's the most hits he's allowed. Oh, 2. He had Abreu down 1-2 in the first inning. Abreu singled. And then he singled again in the third inning and drove in a run. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. And there's Peter Moylan warming up in the 5th inning. Good changeup down and away. That is strikeout number 5 for Vargas, and the second out of the 5th inning.
Show you a little pitch sequence here by Vargy. There it is. Stay on the corners. There's one up. Everything's out of the box. Even the hit to Melky was out of the box. So he's been very effective in his 3 starts this year by pitching just like he did there to Abreu. And the ball to Melky was 3 or 4 inches outside, and he reached out and slapped it up the middle. That's exactly what he wanted to do. Melky's a smart hitter.
One and one on Frazier. It's a difficult measuring stick to live up to because Vargas had a 0.44 ERA in his first 3 starts, but the White Sox had pretty good swings going back to the first inning when Frazier lined to deep left field. Now he pops out to third. Moustakas makes the play. White Sox get back-to-back singles to begin the 5th inning, and then Melky Cabrera drives him home for a 4-1 lead. And 2 in the 5th for a 4-1 lead. Royals are coming up. Top of the 6th inning, our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Elizabeth Kaninen from Lawson, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Elizabeth wins $900. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Elizabeth wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Top of the order, Merrifield, Moustakas, Kane. Slider for a strike to Witt, who leads off for a 2nd straight game. He is 0 for 2, although he did reach on an error with 2 down in the 3rd inning. Scored on a Moustakas double, and at that point, the game was tied at 1. Jammed and a fly ball to center field. Garcia makes the play, and Miguel Gonzalez has retired the last 8.
Early countouts is exactly what he wants. And you know, if you're a hitter and you're looking for your pitch on that first pitch, and you get it, you're going to take a shot at it. But I'm sure in Gonzalez's last start against the Yankees, those 8 first pitch outs he got were all his pitches. They weren't theirs. Where he wants it.
Moustakas drove in a run with a double with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Double in front of Avisail Garcia, who tried to end the inning with a sliding catch in right. Ball went off of his glove for a double and scored Merrifield.
That's the only hit he had.
Boy, Soto, he makes it very clear where he wants the pitch, doesn't he?
He does.
I mean, it's one thing to give the pitcher a low target, but that time he gave the sign, and with his throwing hand and his index finger, look at, even before that, he was taking his throwing hand and pointing that finger to the dirt. Make sure you get that ball down. Now he wants this up. Fouled back over our heads. So Gonzalez is doing a good job of changing speeds and the hitter's eye level tonight.
He certainly is. He's mixing everything up on the Royals and trying to keep the ball in the middle. He's jammed a few hitters. Had some hit it off the end. Just, it's not happening.
So Soto is a catcher that believes that the target is important. Because there are some catchers that will put the sign down and they're kind of nonchalant. The pitcher will be in the motion, and then at the last moment they kind of put the glove up. But he wants the pitcher to have a long look at his target.
It just depends on what kind of stuff the pitcher has, too.
Anderson, the shortstop, back over to the left side of second base to take care of Moustakas. 2 down. Time to sign the kids up for Sluggers Blue Crew for this summer. This year's membership includes a Blue Crew jersey, a flat bill cap, special edition earbuds, Royals Eye Black, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and more. And membership is just $30, and you can join right now by visiting Royals.com/Blue Crew. And now fastball strike to Kane. Lorenzo is grounded to short and flied out to center field.
You know, some pitchers want them to just sit right in the middle of the plate and with a low target, because they have such good stuff that their stuff will play on the corners automatically. I know Monty was like that. I was talking with Monty. He goes, yeah, I wanted my guy to sit up in the middle, but with his target down low, and Monty had 4 pitches that he used, and he let his stuff work the corners instead of the catcher sitting up on the corners like Soto is. See, that ball moved back in.
And some guys move the ball and they're not even trying to move the ball.
See that late 2-seam action there that came in. Late movement is what hitters can't stand.
Kane lays off a high fastball. 2-2. Good luck trying to zone in on one area of the strike zone against this guy.
Oh, he's been excellent.
3-2. In, out, up, down, back and forth. Anderson gets a big hop, and Kane, always running hard, makes it close even on a routine ground ball. And that's 10 straight, set down by Gonzalez. as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. If you can't catch the game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. She still has some hope. The Royals rally tonight.
Yeah, she's having a good time.
Chevy called to the bullpen, and Jason Vargas with that tiny ERA goes 5 tonight. Gives up 4 runs, 3 earned, and Peter Moylan will take over in the 6th, making his 11th appearance. Moylan has pitched 8 1/3 innings for the Royals and has allowed just 3 hits. No runs.
Well, Pete's doing good. A lot of zeros up there in the right category. Sinker, slider. Those are his 2 pitches that work really well. Locates and commands. Not overpowering, but get ground balls like that from righties. That's what he wants. Now Vargas' ERA has swollen to 1.40. Still pretty good.
Third time that Avisail Garcia has led off an inning. And he runs well, and he beat it out. That was a tough play for Witt. He realized he wasn't going to be able to catch it on the fly, so he just had to wait for it to bounce and get into his glove.
Well, you know, Garcia, he runs well, and you got to know the runners. And you know, he might have been better off getting that and catching on the short hop, even if you can't catch it in the fly. Because now the ball's not hit very well, but look at how he gets down that line. Bruce Reckman, he made the correct call. You hustle out of the box from the right side, and you have any kind of speed, you can get some infield hits that way.
Here's Matt Davidson. He put the White Sox on the board first in the bottom of the 2nd inning with our Ram drive of the game.
Pitch was up out over the plate, and it was on the outer half. He went right with it. He tries to pull that pitch, he pops it up. Good swing.
One and one on Davidson.
You know, Jason Vargas, early in the game, we saw Salvador Perez, and you know, coming up out of his crouch, wanting high fastballs, and it was a little bit unusual to see that. I know that was probably in their scouting report in their game plan, but you know, Vargas is not used to throwing 88 miles an hour up in the zone like that. You don't usually ask guys with that kind of velocity to throw up there, because hitters can catch those a little bit easier. You've got, you know, plus 90. Now here's the hit. Salvi wants to target up, but Vargy missed. That was the one that he drove out of the ballpark. And here's one that kind of crept back over the plate. That was the broken bat base hit. Now there's nothing wrong with this. This pitch here was just a great piece of hitting by Melky. That ball was up a little bit, but still out over the plate with the infield in. So Vargas didn't look as bad as the line looks.
Way outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still 2-2.
Davidson is a third baseman. So as long as Todd Frazier's playing third base here, he'll probably DH, kind of play off the bench a little bit.
First round pick of the Diamondbacks in 2009. White Sox got him in a trade for Addison Reed, who then went to the Mets, and the Royals beat them in the World Series. Christian Colon's big memorable hit was off of Addison Reed. Game 5 in the 12th inning.
Yeah.
Still 3-2.
You know, going back to your someday wanting to watch from the dugout suite, it reminded me of the wild card game when I went down to do the post-game wrap-up and ended up going extra innings. I stood 8 innings down there at field level in the camera well, and it was riveting. I loved it. It was so fun to be on field level. So, you know, these fans that get these seats down low here, it's, you know, speed at the level where the speed is. The speediest there, closest to the game.
You know, it's something I try and do at least once during spring training, a game we're not broadcasting, is watch a few innings as close to the field as I can be, because up here the game looks a lot easier than it does down there, and it's a good reminder to just, first of all, it's a hard game to play, and then the speed with which they play at this level.
Right. The closer you get, the faster it gets.
Garcia runs, and a wide open right side that will roll deep, and Davidson is going to drive in another run tonight. This time he gets Garcia to home plate, and Chicago has a 5-1 lead in the bottom of the 6th.
Gotta love this, man. That's what you want to do. That whole right side's wide open, and Davidson pounded it. That's right in the direction he hit the home run. He's hot in that area there. Bonifacio looked like he was on roller skates there, trying to stop in that warning track. And Garcia scored with no problem. But that all started here with Avisail Garcia hustling out of the box, getting an infield hit.
Runner at second, nobody out. Ball 1 to Giovanni Soto. He is 0 for 2. We had Jason Benetti on the pregame show tonight, or at least Joel and Monty had Jason Benetti on, television voice of the White Sox, and he felt like the win yesterday over Cleveland, 6-2, just kind of loosened everybody up, and thought maybe they were able to put their scoring troubles behind them. Escobar throws out Soto. There he is, calling the game with Steve Stone, as Hawk Harrelson, the Chicago legend, is doing half the games now. And Jason was right. 6 runs last night, or yesterday afternoon, 5 runs today. How long that will last, we don't know, but it reminds me a little bit of what we thought was going to be the breakthrough game for the Royals. That first game in Houston after getting swept in Minnesota. Remember, we were talking about just need a big hit, and Alex Gordon got that 2-run double with 2 outs in the first game.
Yep.
Royals scored 5 runs in that game, and they scored 7 runs the next game, and it was just like, okay, here we are, off to the races. Well, for the Royals, it didn't last very long. Let's see how long this lasts for the White Sox. They had been shut out in back-to-back games before their breakout yesterday. Moustakas lets it roll to Escobar, which is very rare. That's the third baseman's play. And the White Sox get another base runner as Garcia reaches and Davidson goes to third.
2 infield hits. I'm just not so sure Moose could reach it, so it's the reason why he let it go. And a speedy runner is like Avisail Garcia.
Yeah, you're right. Probably not a play for him.
A little bit out of his range there. Just the ball had eyes on it. And for the Royals, they're just going to have to do all they can to get back to 500. Scratch and claw. Took them a while to get back to it. They can do it again. He's going to have to figure out a way to drive in some runs.
Well, they're 4 games under 500 right now for the second time. They were 2-6 after that series with the A's, and then the Royals went on to win 5 of 6 to get back to 500, and now they've lost 4 in a row. Center field, not deep. Kane's coming up. That's going to drop. Davidson scores. The White Sox have 2 more runs in the 6th inning. Tim Anderson, who got his first 2-hit game yesterday, now has his first 3-hit game of the season.
Off the end of the bat. Slider right out there. He just dumped it in there.
Checking to see who his cover man will be on a ground ball back to him, hoping for a double play. And remember, every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at participating McDonald's in the greater KC, St. Joe, and Lawrence areas. Tyler Saladino. And that's a base hit into center field. Coming around third is Garcia as the ball gets away from Kane. Now Anderson is around third. Saladino goes to third. And the White Sox have 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, White Sox, somebody's finally getting to Moylan. That ball's down the middle of the plate. Saladino with a good approach, just keeping his hands inside the ball, used the opposite field. Ball skipped on Locane, got by him.
So because it skipped by him, Saladino will get a triple and 2 RBIs. And Peter Moylan, who had gone 8 1/3 innings for the Royals and only allowed 3 hits and no runs, tonight he goes 1/3 of an inning. He gives up 5 hits and 4 runs, and he's responsible for the runner at third and 1 out. Travis Wood is the Chevy call to the bullpen. Ed Yost is the first to greet Peter Moylan as he comes off the mound, as Moylan gets knocked around for 5 hits in 1/3 of an inning. 4 runs have scored, and there's a runner at third with 1 out. Travis Wood comes on and throws a strike to Melky Cabrera. Eight games, 4 2/3 innings. Travis Wood in the dirt, not far enough away for Saladino to come down the line.
Wood's going to try to keep him off balance with his fastball, curve, change, and slider. Cutters into righties. 87 to 92 with the velocity. Use both sides of the plate. Infield in. A ground ball or a pop-up.
Almost hit him on the hip. biggest hit right now for the White Sox, which gave them a little space, was Melky Cabrera. Swung at a pitch from Jason Vargas. It looked like it was a foot outside, and with runners at second and third with one out, drove in two, and that turned a 2-1 game into a 4-1 game, and now the White Sox are starting to run away, if they haven't run away already.
Yeah, look at the backside. Look at Melky's backside fall out. He reached out and touched it. That's all he wanted to do with the infielders in. Same situation here. He's not going to try to do too much with a big swing.
3-2. You know, watching that replay, 8 out of 10 times, if Vargas and Salvador Perez can get a hitter to swing at that pitch, they're going to get the result they're looking for.
But he was looking for it.
Melky takes a walk, and there are runners at first and third with one out. Travis Wood, typically a strike thrower, he has now walked 8 in 4 2/3 innings.
That hasn't been the start he's wanted, that's for sure. With this new team, it'll take him a little bit of time to settle in. We hope.
Walked by Salvi, ball one on Jose Abreu. Saladino at third. He just drove in 2 with a triple. Melky Cabrera's at first. Two and 0. Travis Wood typically isn't really stingy with the walks. Last year he walked about 1 every 3 innings. That's certainly nothing close to what he's done in his first month with the Royals. Way outside, ball 4. 1 runner will advance. Abreu walks on 4 straight pitches, and the 9th man will come up in the inning, and he'll do so with the bases loaded and 1 out. So ball 4. No wild pitch, as Cabrera would have advanced anyway, and Abreu, or rather Saladino at third, was not about to challenge Salvador Perez.
Favorable kickback off the back screen.
And now Frazier. So that's 9 walks in 4 2/3 innings for Travis Wood in his first 9 appearances. Saladino's at third, Cabrera's at second, Abreu at first, and Todd Frazier at the plate. He is 0 for 3 with a line out to deep left field back in the first inning. And that's way inside with ball 1.
He's having a hard time putting it where he wants it. He wants to work the outer half of the plate and down with a power hitter like that. Maybe can get him on an off-speed pitch to hit a ground ball. 3 men on the infield on the left side for Frazier. He's a pull hitter.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on the White Sox has more than 6 at-bats against Travis Wood except for Frazier. And Frazier has 32 at-bats against Travis Wood. So he knows what he's getting here, and he almost got hit on the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. So you have Giovanni Soto has 5 at-bats. That's the second most. And then Frazier, who has 32. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out of play again. Frazier probably doesn't feel right at the moment. He was out with the flu. Had knocked him out for 5 games. Only been back for a couple of games since. He has driven in 1 all year. And he's 1 for his last 19. So this is a good guy to buckle down on here and get an out.
Right. Put him in the lane.
Did he chase it? No, and that pitch was way outside.
He's anxious, you can tell. You know, he wants to get that hit and start getting some ribbies and getting in the flow. So maybe he can Wood can take advantage. 3-2 here to get him to swing. Maybe off the plate a little bit. Close.
White Sox have 3 singles, a double, a triple, and 2 walks in the inning. Line to the gap. Saladino scores. Soto scores. Abreu will be held up at third. And Frazier comes through with the bases loaded, and the White Sox lead 10-1 in the bottom of the 6th.
Now he tried an off-speed pitch. It looked like a changeup that was down. And Frazier just went with it, raked it in the gap. That was a fastball. Tried to keep it down, hoping for a rollover, but he got it up, put it in the gap.
Still only 1 out. Now 2nd and 3rd for Garcia. And as all this started with Garcia's hustle on a broken bat, little looper out towards second base.
Yeah, you know, Whitley, he started to come in thinking he could catch it on the fly, but then he backed up on it, and that gave Garcia some time to get in there. So he would beat it out in a clean play. The little things in baseball sometimes turn into large things.
Inside, 2-1.
That's a good spot there. That's a good cutter. Didn't give it to him.
Two and 2. Garcia leads the league with his overall batting average. Laid on a fastball and strikes out. Batting at .371 going into that at bat. 5th in the league in OPS. So 2 down, and now Matt Davidson, who's already doubled in a run and scored a run in this inning. Davidson is 2 out of 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 driven in. Fastball for strike 1. Blasted to left field. Alex plays it off the wall, and that drives in 2 more. It is an 8-run bottom of the 6th inning for the White Sox, and Davidson, with 2 hits in the inning, has driven in 3 of the runs.
Yep, he's red hot, and that's on the inner half of the plate. He's barreled it. It's a good thing he didn't get under that. That'd have been a 3-run shot. It hits halfway up the wall. Alex plays it perfectly and kept him for a single there. He made a big turn thinking he could get a double, but Alex would have thrown him out by a long shot.
5 of the runs are charged to Moylan, and now 3 to Wood. And now Soto has the possible dubious distinction of making the first out and the last out in the same inning. And he is that guy. But in between, the White Sox turn a 4-1 game into a 12-1 game. Peter Moylan gives up 5 runs, Travis Wood 3, and the White Sox come up with 8. Tomorrow night, Danny Duffy with a 1.32 ERA going up against Dylan Covey, who is a Rule 5 pick for the White Sox this year. His ERA is very high, 7.84, but the White Sox have the lowest ERA in the major leagues, even with a couple of injured starters, including Carlos Rodon, our University of Kansas Health System injury report. He's on the disabled list with left biceps bursitis. James Shields is also on the disabled list. So 2 of their 5 starters from their opening day rotation are down, and yet they continue to pitch well. And the baton has been passed to Miguel Gonzalez, who has held the Royals to 1 run, 1 hit in his first 6 innings. And he's knocked down the last 10 Royals. 1-1 on Eric Hosmer. He is flied to right and grounded out to second base.
Had a good at bat the first time. He saw some pitches. Saladino got him on the shift that last time up. He hit a 3-hopper, pretty firm. Saladino's left. If they were playing up normal, it would have been a base hit, but the shift got him again. Once Haas starts working the other side of the field, they'll go back to playing him straight up.
Hard hit. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. That's just baseball today, but most of Eric Hosmer's life, when he hits a ball that hard in that area, he's got a base hit.
It's got to get a little bit of elevation on it. That's easy to say, you know. It's not going up there trying to pop the ball up. Better chances of getting hits, better on the ground.
Salvi has flied to center and struck out. Pitch was outside, and he hooks it out to third. Frazier throws him out, 2 down. Alex has walked and struck out. The Royals have 3 base runners. Alex's walk in the second. Merrifield reached on an error in the third. Moustakas doubled him home, and at that point the game was tied at 1. And the last 12 Royals have gone down against Miguel Gonzalez. Alex cracked his bat that last swing. Not something Royals fans are accustomed to seeing, and especially here in Chicago. This is a team that the Royals have just dominated. You know, this is a measuring stick team for teams like Minnesota and Chicago. They're not expected to contend yet this year. They are rebuilding. But if there's a team that they need to prove something against, it's the Royals. And Alex gets a little excuse me base hit. And that's the first runner since the 3rd inning. Royals were 15-4 against Minnesota last year, and that happened to be the first team the Twins play this year. And the Royals were 14-5 against the White Sox last year. And Rick Renteria's team, if you want to get to the same place where the Royals were, 13, 14, 15, well, you got to prove it against teams like the Royals. And those 2 teams in particular, the Twins and the White Sox, have played with a lot of energy against the Royals.
So far they have.
Garcia makes the call and the catch in fair territory to end the top of the 7th inning. Stretch time in Chicago, and the fans have already been out of their seats quite a bit. The White Sox lead 12-1. bottom of the 7th inning. Panera takes us around the league. The Orioles are off to a good start. They're 12-5. They lead Tampa Bay in a delay. Minnesota leading at Texas. Minnesota's 2 games under 500. Toronto, the Angels, just underway. And Washington is leading at Colorado. Washington has won 7 in a row. Drew Butera is the new Royals catcher. Chesler Cuthbert will take over at third base. And on the mound is Matt Strahm.
Yeah, Washington Nationals, they have an excellent starting staff. They'll be good. Got a little power. They get some thunder behind them.
Strahm's big numbers, most of those coming from before he was sent down. He has made 1 appearance since being called back up and faced 1 batter and got an out during the Texas series.
Yeah, you know, the large ERAs come down pretty quickly, just kind of like the low batting averages of a hitter. When you get a few hits, it comes up pretty quick. So you throw a few innings of a shutout ball, and you can get that down. It just takes a little while. Strahm, fastball, slider. Fixes his issues that he had early in Houston. Dave saw him tapping his glove and throwing his timing off. Good swing.
Yeah, that was a really good point that you made, and we had the video to show it. And I asked Matt about that and said, you know, is that something that you realize you were doing? And he said, you know, I've always kind of tapped my glove, but it was very subtle. He didn't realize that he was pulling the ball so far out of his glove and then coming back in again, and just doing that was throwing off his timing, and now no tap at all. I was talking to Dave Island about, here's the last pitch from Strahm, and it's showing that ball cutting in on Garcia. I was talking to Dave Island today, and it was very interesting, and I was going to bring the point up to you, Hud, when you were talking about Moustakas at third. Fouled away by Garcia. You were talking about how when a fielder fields a ground ball, you know, they have to go to their left or their right, and they will tap the ball in their glove just to kind of get themselves timed to make a good throw, lined up. And it made me realize that whether you're throwing from third or you're pitching, Escobar blocks it and shows off his arm out at first base. Oh, man.
He can let it loose when he wants to.
Garcia's not convinced. The White Sox will take another look.
Well, he was swinging as he was running out of the box, so he had a head start.
And the White Sox are going to challenge. It's going to be close. Anyway, just to finish the point, I was talking to Dave about pitching, and we were talking about Strahm, and you know, Dave is just a firm believer that if you have balance over the rubber as a pitcher, balance over the rubber, and you're bringing your hand out of your glove in a balanced position, that just takes care of the rest of the pitcher's mechanics. That it begins right there. But it's not just pitching. You know, you're making basically the same point. That, you know, fielders will do the same thing. And that might be the fastest decision we've had since replay, so kudos to the umpire in New York, who was already looking at it before the umpires got to the headsets. And it'll be an infield single for Leury Garcia.
Yeah, a lot. It looks like it's 2 extremes, pitching and hitting defense, but it's all related. Pitcher's got to be on perfect balance to make execute his pitches, and his job is to get the hitter off balance, and so he swings and misses. But when a hitter has his balance and he gets the pitch he wants, he hits it a long way. So fielding's the same way, throwing the ball.
Anderson sharply hit. Escobar makes another excellent play, and this time a double play.
Wow, he's hit it the wrong guy. Escobar knows what to do with the hot shots. 2 hop, 1 hopper. Catches it, shovels it right behind his back, and a perfectly tossed ball right to Merrifield, right in front of that bag. Perfect. Can't get any better than that.
Tyler Saladino with 2 down, nobody on, and Strom hits the inside at 94 miles an hour. So if I can sum up, what Dave Island was saying, and that Strom, Strom was in a pitching motion, he'd pull his hand out of the glove or put the ball back in the glove, and by the time he was going over the rubber, he hadn't pulled the hand out of the glove yet, so his arm was behind his body and his mechanics were off.
Yeah, it leaves the ball up. Now, hitting, Dale Swain told me today, there's nothing wrong with our hitters. There's no mechanical issues. It's all pitch selection. We're having issues. We're being aggressive, and it worked. It worked in 14 and 15. Aggressive offense, in the top in the league at hitting both those years. But it's just not working now because they're missing the ball a lot more. They're not putting it in play. Now Lorenzo he's got 6, 7 infield hits already. That's the brand, but he's making contact in these. But too many Royals are swinging and missing. So it's not mechanical. There's not anything they're doing wrong in their swings, is what Dale told me.
Well, and he's also really fast, too. I mean, he can put the ball in play with 2 strikes and still get a hit out of it.
Yep. But what I'm saying is he's shortening up his swing and putting it in play when a lot of them are swinging from their heels. Just trying to find their identity offensively.
Yeah, another thing you have to factor in, too, and this isn't the only issue, but yeah, the Royals are aggressive. And they've had a lot of success doing that. But there's 29 other teams spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to counter their aggressiveness. Right? It's not like the other teams are going, well, the Royals they're really aggressive. They swing early in the count, so, darn. That's just, they're just going to beat us because they do that. No, I mean, they're okay. So how do we use that aggressiveness against them? And I get back to the numbers that we talked about yesterday that Dave Holtzman looked up, but the Royals right now are swinging at more pitches out of the strike zone than any other team in the major leagues. Strom gives up an infield single. He gets a double play, and he strikes out Saladino for a scoreless bottom of the 7th. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By True Green, America's #1 professional lawn care company. Live life outside. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Kansas City Royals. It is a 12-1 White Sox lead to the 8th inning. Chicago scored 8 in the bottom of the 6th inning, sending 13 hitters to the plate. And now Miguel Gonzalez, who was outstanding in his last start. He allowed 1 run in 8 1/3 innings at Yankee Stadium. And now he's given up 1 run, 2 hits in 7 innings tonight. His pitch count is higher tonight than it was on Tuesday. He's at 93. So for now, just trying to get the White Sox through the 8th inning. Moss, Bonifacio, and Merrifield coming up. 3-0 on Moss. Gonzalez struck him out in his first 2 at-bats. And there's Don Cooper, longtime White Sox pitching coach. He is on the phone and checking in with the White Sox bullpen.
About 14 years as a big league coach. Pitching coach here. He's got to be pleased with what he's seeing from Miguel Gonzalez, a guy who was basically let go by Baltimore, huh?
And Baltimore might have had a little better run last year if they had more starting pitching, and they just cut him loose last year. Moss takes a strike. And the strike zone might get a little bigger in a 12-1 game in the 8th inning.
With the wind chill probably around 45, maybe 50.
And Brandon Moss strikes out for a 3rd time tonight. This one probably stings the most because he was ahead 3-0. Kelvin Herrera try and get a little bit of work in tonight. He provides refreshing saves. Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Now Bonifacio, who is 0 for 2. And that's in for a strike. One of his outs was a fly out to the warning track in center field. Melky Cabrera coming up and making the play 2 down. Well, here's what we were talking about last half inning. And if you're looking for some hope for the Royals to turn things around offensively, the Royals don't believe that several hitters have forgotten how to hit. This is the problem. The Royals have swung at a higher percentage of pitches out of the strike zone than anyone else in the league. They are making contact at the 3rd lowest percentage in the league, and soft contact, so when they do make contact, is it hard contact or soft contact? And it is the 2nd highest soft contact percentage. So going back to what you were saying, what Dale Swain told you, that it's not about the Royals not being able to hit, it's what they're swinging at. And you have to give the opposition some credit. They're not just going to lay it in there to an aggressive swinging team. Their goal is to change speeds early in the count, throw pitches on or off the corners, and play off of the Royals' aggressiveness. 2-1 on Witt.
Yep, and they've beaten all these pitchers that are beating them now. The Royals' offense can handle it. It's just they got a hitting virus now.
2-2. Fouled away, still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chesler Cuthbert's on deck. He came on for Mike Moustakas defensively last half inning. This will be the 105th pitch for Miguel Gonzalez. And it's lifted to shallow right field. Garcia was playing shallow. And Miguel Gonzalez goes 8 innings. He gives up 2 hits. And he retires 16 of the last 17 Royals. Hugs, handshakes, pats on the back as he holds the Royals to 1 unearned run in 8 innings. Melky Cabrera will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. He had our Honda play of the game back in the 5th. White Sox had a 2-1 lead, and Cabrera's 2-run single made it 4-1.
Yeah, that was definitely a turning point. Melky's able to reach out, slap that ball into center. It was a really good at bat. Infield was in. Just what he wanted to do. Now Herrera's going to get a little work.
One and one on Melky Cabrera. Vargas went 5, allowed 4 runs, 1 was unearned. Peter Moylan went 1/3 of an inning and gave up 5. Travis Wood went 2/3 of an inning and gave up 3. And then Strom pitched a scoreless 7th. So Melky had the 2-run single in the 5th, and then he walked and scored in the White Sox 8-run 6th, and they sent 12 to the plate. Three and 2.
Fastball changeup, 98 and 88. Good contrast in styles. I mean, in speeds. Occasional slider. This might be the time if he wants to work on location of that slider, he can. Although he didn't really need it. He loses it.
Coming up on Saturday, the Royals will host the Minnesota Twins, and you can grab the first bobblehead in our Memorable Moments series. The first 20,000 fans receive this Kelvin Herrera bobblehead presented by Sonic, commemorating his 3 scoreless innings. Game 5 of the 2015 World Series. Visit Royals.com and area price chopper, or call 1-800-6-ROYALS 4 tickets. Minnesota will be at Kauffman Stadium over the weekend. Jacob May will run for Melky Cabrera. And then these White Sox will be at Kauffman Stadium next Monday through Thursday, followed by a 3-game series with the Indians. One and one on Abreu. He has driven in one and he has scored once tonight. And with all these runs, you figure just about everybody has been involved tonight. And 8 of the 9 White Sox have scored a run. 6 of the 9 have driven in a run. The only White Sox hitter who hasn't scored a run or driven in a run is the catcher Giovanni Soto, but I'd imagine he doesn't worry much about that because he was behind the plate for Miguel Gonzalez, who gave up 1 unearned run over 8 innings. Still 2-2. Abreu has 2 hits tonight, taking his average up to 224. He has not been a very good performer in the month of April.
And it's not very pleasant facing Herrera in the cold like this, especially on that fastball in on his hands.
Six, 4, 3. Second consecutive inning, the Royals have rolled up a 6-4-3 double play. Now through May 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, you can bid on over 300 sports items in the 9th annual MLB Umpires Online Auction. To learn more and to bid, go to MLB.com/umpscare. All proceeds support Umps Care charities. It's been a big night for the White Sox, but it's a very quiet night here. Small gathering, which makes it very easy to hear Todd Frazier's walk-up song, Frank Sinatra.
That's a first.
Yep. Hud, did you have a walk-up song?
Yeah, you know, I had a few. Their walk-up songs were just kind of coming in when I was at. I had like George Thorogood.
Bad to the Bone?
That's right.
Were you really?
Yeah, and then, you know, like I said before.
You had Bad to the Bone when you went to the plate?
In Pittsburgh, they had an organist, and she played Doggy in the Window. How much is that Doggy in the Window?
Oh, okay.
You never know that song in elementary school because of my first name. Yeah.
Right.
But I never heard Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, well, he's from New Jersey. Todd Frazier is.
He could have the boss.
Ooh, man, watch your lips, buddy.
That all day.
Seager needs to know that, well, he took his glasses off.
That's smart.
He took his glasses off, and he had no idea where the ball was. He was looking left, he was looking right, and it was up above him, and it hit him on the way down. And the usher is saying, hey, man, if you're going to sit in these seats, you got to leave your glasses on.
It was all right.
But he didn't lose one drop of his beer. That's the only thing that's gone wrong for somebody tonight in a White Sox uniform. The authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Royals just as soon forget about this one. Move on to tomorrow. Danny Duffy will start for the Royals. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, with Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. They'll be coming up with Boulevard Royals Live, along with director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Kevin Cedergren, associate producers Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. This is Anthony Swarzak. We saw a lot of him with Minnesota, and he has pitched in 5 games, 7 1/3 scoreless innings for what has been an outstanding beginning for Chicago's bullpen.
90-95 with his heater. In the bullpen, plays pretty well. Slider, curve, change, got all 4.
This is Cuthbert's first at bat. Two balls and no strikes. Mike Moustakas started at third, and he drove in the Royals' run with a double in the 3rd inning. And the Royals, to this point, have 2 hits. That was after 8 innings from Miguel Gonzalez. 2-1 on Chesler. So Gonzalez, in his last 2 starts, has allowed 1 earned run in 16 1/3 innings.
Dealing.
Two and two.
Hard to believe that you could give up on a pitcher like that, like Gonzalez, like the Orioles did. Who've gotten off to a really good start. The Orioles are playing good baseball.
Chesler smashes his bat in the dirt as Swarzak comes back from 2-0 with fastballs. 1 down in the 9th inning. Coming up after the game, Boulevard Royals Live with Joel and Monty. Clubhouse reaction to tonight's loss and setting up tomorrow. Well, getting back to Gonzalez and your point, Hud, the Baltimore Orioles last year were 89-73, second in the East, 4 games back. They did play in the wild card and lost to the Blue Jays, but they had the 3rd highest starters ERA last year. So they did all of that with the 3rd highest starters ERA, and that was after cutting Miguel Gonzalez loose.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that game. That's when Showalter didn't bring in his closer.
Yeah, Zach Britton. Yep, that haunted him all off season. Still 1-2. Saladino charges, and there are 2 down. This is a low pressure, low leverage situation, if you will, for the White Sox. And yet, we should point out how good their bullpen has been. 2nd best ERA in the American League. They are one of 3 major league teams without a blown save. That was going into tonight, and that's notable because the White Sox last year led the American League with 28 blown saves. So they needed to fix the bullpen. We'll see if it lasts for the long haul. But they're about to get back to the 500 mark at 9-9 with an offense that isn't doing a whole lot better than the Royals are for the first 3 weeks. You couldn't tell by tonight. They've scored 12 runs, but it's been their pitching that's kept them in it, and most notably their bullpen. 1-1 on Hosmer. He is 0 for 3. He did. 1-2. Two and 2 on Hosmer.
Swarzak was with the Twins last year, wasn't he? The last few years?
I don't know about last year, but he came up through the Twins organization. Last year he was with the Yankees, the Indians the year before that, and then parts of 6 seasons with Minnesota.
Yeah, that's why I remember him.
Wherever Hosmer hits it tonight, there's a White Sox fielder waiting for it. And the White Sox blow out the Royals in game 1. 12-1. And now the Royals losing streak is 5 in a row. And they've scored just 6 runs over that stretch. We'll be right back.